Hello friends, how are you today? Well, I'm recording this late at night on Friday. I was hoping some data would show up on the chart and I could report something really like, oh wow, this just happened, but it is not to be, and so I will just talk about the numbers behind the images here, which I didn't talk about the other day. But first, if you could share this video if it resonates with you, and like and subscribe to my channel, that would be so great. Thank you so much. I also wanted to make an announcement. Normally this weekend I do a local crystal fair, and this year I'm not going. So I've decided to host an online crystal fair celebration instead, where I will do my crystal fair pricing and just do sessions by Zoom and Skype. If you have like easy little questions that you want answered or quick energy work that we can do together, it's pretty cool. I really enjoy doing this work. If you are signed up for the newsletter, you have gotten an invitation to join this. And if you're not on the newsletter, you can sign up for the newsletter. The link is below. And in the welcome letter at the very top, there'll be a link to the information about the online crystal fair celebration. Just send me an email if you're interested, and we will figure out a time to get together. The sessions will be available between Sunday, that's this weekend, Sunday, so like maybe tomorrow, depending on when you're listening to this, the 10th through Saturday, the 16th. So we'll have like a week where we can schedule fair type sessions. So I'd love to meet you guys and do some work with you if you're interested. Now, for this chart, what I wanted to say was right now I'm recording this, and it's the chart here ends Thursday, 11 p.m. Pacific time, and it's almost 11 p.m. on Friday. Now, we have no data since. In Tomsk right now, it's Saturday around noon, and you can see here the chart is not updated from Friday. So there is no data available, and I really am intrigued. Sometimes when they re-update the chart, they will backfill data, and so I'm just hoping that we might get to see the backfilled data this time. Let me show you something, a couple things behind the images here. In my video, the JERICHO effect, which it's the weekend, if you have if you have a little more time and you haven't seen the JERICHO effect yet, I highly encourage you to watch that video because it was so interesting. Explaining the energy dynamics there of what I call the JERICHO effect. And then the follow-on video to that is called JERICHO, PLUTO, Freedom Soul. And I explain how Pluto stationing direct actually showed up right here in the chart in this incredible multicolor line. And at the same time, you had the new moon and a C-class. And in fact, we've had 4 C-class flares now over this period, including the missing data. So there's been a lot of sun activity. And both of those videos are super interesting. So it's worth taking a look at those because the concepts in them are enduring. Okay, so one of the things I had talked about was this thin line here in the red, which persists in this chart. And we have the dip, which we had been seeing before, but there was a change in pattern. And this is really interesting. The frequency range shot up for a short time and then continued. And what we did not see was the dip down. Now it's interesting because we had the white horizontal lines, and with some other colors here, especially in this bar, we've had these repeating. Now, at least for this, we don't have them, but what I said in my last video is it looked like there were echoes of it, and then an effect from this solar system event. That's my thought on what created that. And you can watch JERICHO, Pluto, Freedom Soul for more information on it. In the amplitude, you had this nice spike, right? This was about an hour and a half before The ephemeris says that Pluto went direct, but considering how far Pluto is, I think an hour and a half is maybe pretty close given the distance in terms of having an effect. It's interesting, we had the effect on the Earth, Schumann resonance before. That's really interesting. Maybe we anticipated the change, because Pluto is a huge, like, there's a lot, like, there's, the shadow realms, the shadow aspects of our personality. Pluto's the lord of the underworld. There's a lot of emotion, drama, energy. So it wouldn't surprise me if we anticipated that, because our human systems are good at anticipating these things in an intuitive way. But the interesting thing about all of these amplitudes in all of the resonances was that they were very, very low. And I thought that was interesting. So the power had come off on the chart. Now, here's the trend that has continued to occur, this roller coaster of activity in the red resonance continually going up to 22 like this. I thought that was really interesting. And then on these two dips, we would have normally had, not on this dip here, sorry, on this dip and then possibly this dip, we would have had a corresponding dip here in the frequencies, but we didn't. Now, what's really interesting is not only that, but the white resonance has gotten more narrow, with the movements closer together vertically. Okay, the range has narrowed that the movements move within, and the size of the movements is narrowed. And then the same thing has happened in the yellow, and the red was already like that. And the green, I'm not sure what to say. The green's been really within this narrow range. It's been doing another kind of roller coaster, but it feels like there's been a lessening of the roller coaster effect here. But what I wanted to say was sometimes we have seen the frequency ranges like this narrow before there's a big movement in the chart, like a wave or something like that. And until we see the data released, we won't know what happened. But in my video, in the beginner's playlist, How to Read the Wave, I guess I'll link that below. I show how the bands of frequency narrowed before a big wave came in. So it's just interesting to see that that is happening here. At least we had that change in yellow, and I would say in white. Red was already like that. And I'd say there's been it looks like a restricting of movement. There's less vertical ups and downs in the green. So it's possible that something may have been going on in the past few hours that's missing here. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I just wanted to look at that and the no data and the possibility of what might be happening. For whatever reason with this new moon, what I wanted to say is, for me, there's been a real energy shift. These kind of like little depressions of experience. I feel like I'm over it. I am over it. And I'm ready to pour my energy into something that matters to me, that I love, and into opportunities that will come to fruition as I'm guided. Okay, because my guidance will show me the way. My guidance day by day and step by step will show me what is in the highest good. And what is in the highest good will unfold for me and for us all, especially when we live consciously and we intend that. But darkness is turned to light. And in these times, I'm going with this approach that integrity matters, and that the choices we make in every moment are poignant now. They have a special poignance because of what is happening. I've really, really clearly seen that we are, in my view, we are in a bio war. And as soon as I realized that, at the end of the full moon, God, it was so intense, wasn't it? And then coming into this new moon, everything is crystallized. And I've just realized that it's that real. There's things that are going on that are not even reported. And even in the alt media yet. And what do I want to say? This is it. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where what we do matters. What we think matters. What we feel matters. Our connection with God, or reconnecting with God, the Most High, the Creator of the universe, matters. Reconnecting with soul matters. And in the bigger scheme of things, this is why it matters. Because time and experience runs in cycles, and there are some people who've covered this really, really well. The cycles are something like 26,000 years. And because I remember past lifetimes, I remember making decisions at key moments that put me back into the cycle for 26,000 more years. Or living on the bottom of the ocean for thousands of years, or, and I say that living, I say that in quotes, consciousness on the bottom of the ocean for thousands of years. And we can, and every path is valid, right? Because it just is. But this is a time where we can rise up. And when I say that, I mean that the God force within us leaps forward. That our soul connection rises up to meet the human being that we are. And hand in hand, one by one, we walk guided by that divine energy. And it's kind of like that scene in that Harrison Ford movie where where he's on the quest to find the Holy Grail. And he's followed the map, and he's on the edge of a precipice, and there's another precipice across from him, and it's just straight down into nothingness below him. But he knows, he sees the entrance, he knows the Holy Grail is there. And as he looks down, he thinks, there has to be a path. It's what makes sense that there is a path here. And he suddenly gets this idea. He throws sand, right? Like particles of quanta. He throws them in front of him, and suddenly, boom, the path lights up for a moment when the sand touches it and then disappears. So now he has a sense of where the path is, and he jumps off the precipice, and about 2 or 3 feet down, his feet land. And as he puts his foot forward and connects with the path, that's when the path lights up. He takes his foot off, there's no path there. Foot down, the path lights up. And this is what communing with the divine, moment to moment, checking in. What is in my highest good to do now? And are these feelings mine? Are these my God-given, soul-inspired feelings? Are these my God-sourced, soul-inspired thoughts? Because the parasites, the energies that aren't ours, it's time for us to let them drop away so that we can get clarity on this if we choose. And this is also, in my view, referred to as living a fifth-dimensional state of being. It's not linear. You don't know what's next. It's that one-to-one communion with the divine that involves incredible trust. Incredible trust. And then when you put that foot down and you see the path and you just have this feeling in you that says this is the right thing to do. Or you look to the side and you go, I wonder if the path is there. And you don't move and you look and you go, if I put my foot down there, what would that feel like? And in your body, it would feel awful. And the reason why is it's not your path. That's not the path for you. And so my friends, my best wishes for you at this time. We've got this, you've got this, and God wins. the human resonance. It's all about the vibe.